David. David.
He's falling in a beautiful swirling pattern.
David.
What is up, everyone? This is the David Wells Experiment, and I'm your host, David Wells. So as I've mentioned before, 2017 and 2018, I kind of went through some stuff, like some big personal traumas, and for whatever reason, that was the thing that kind of made me disengage from filmmaking. I mean, I still did some videos and everything, but they were almost exclusively church videos, so I'm blessed that I had those to do, because if I hadn't, I might have just quit making films and movies altogether. But anyway, it's been kind of a while, and I've sort of only really made one thing, and I just kind of fell off the bandwagon for a bit. I kind of wish I could go back and change things. Like, if 2023 me could go back in time to 2018 me, I would say, you've got to keep going. You've got to keep making something. Start scribbling away. Start asking yourself, what's the next thing we're going to do? And it doesn't matter what it is. It's just got to be something that its existence is dependent upon you setting a course of action and taking it. That's what I would tell him. And don't give yourself a break. I believe in resting. I believe in taking it easy when you need to. But it's one of those things where, in the particular case of me making movies, I would tell him, like, we gotta go. Come on. Let's get on it. 'Cause, yeah. Because who knows where I'd be right now if I'd kept making movies. But anyway, yeah. It's funny, there are kind of a lot of false starts where I'm like, oh, I'm back again. But turned out to not be the case. But for some reason, in 2023, I do feel like things are going to be different. That I've got to make a movie. It's kind of funny, like, there are San Antonio filmmaking groups, and there are people who make movies. And it's like, I don't feel like I see a lot of really great talent come to fruition in this city. And like, it's funny, I'll see movies and filmmakers in San Antonio who I feel like, oh, they kind of do something really good, but they just sort of miss the mark this way, and I'm definitely one of those. There have been filmmakers in San Antonio who I've been genuinely impressed by, where I'm like, oh wow, they've got to go places. But then for whatever reason, they just kind of go off course. Like, you'll see a great project from them, and then radio silence. They don't do anything. And it's kind of tragic, because I heard, like, I've seen filmmakers like that. They had great movies, and they didn't follow it up with anything. Or you would figure like, oh, they're gonna go take everything by, they're gonna make stuff happen. It's almost midnight as I'm recording this. And you wonder what happened to them, and you also think that's kind of sad that they didn't do anything with that magic they had in them. They could have been really great. And I want to make sure that that doesn't happen to me. There's kind of, I guess if I could go back in time to 2018, I would try to be like in that scene in Bambi where, the forest is on fire and Bambi's like knocked out or something. And then the great king of the forest, he's like, get up. And he just keeps shouting, you must get up, Bambi. And he keeps saying that. And just as the fire is about to, do them both in, because he kept shouting, get up, Bambi does indeed get up. And they make their way out of the fiery forest and they live. I feel like I could make something really great. And I feel I've made things that have potential. I remember when I made a movie called The Ride, which is basically a rideshare driver. He takes a guy to a club, but he doesn't realize that he's a shooter, and then the ensuing chaos he feels guilty for. And that was kind of the culmination of 13 years worth or 14 years worth of going against what everyone else told me I ought to do. I remember when I started making movies, we would be in the middle of making something and the people were like, let's just do it as a comedy. I'm like, and that would upset me so much that we'd be in the middle of it. Where's the suggestion, let's just do it as a comedy when I'm planning things? You decide to propose this when we're knee deep into it. Now there's a part of me that could have responded okay, yeah, let's go for that. And but I chose to stick with my guns and tried to go for making things dramatic, when even when I was trying to do it seriously, the result was comedic. It's just that I wasn't trying to be funny. But I remember when I made that movie, The Ride, it was kind of the culmination of 13 years of not doing what other people told me to do, which was always make it a comedy, make it a comedy. And I proved them wrong, that I did have it in me to make something dramatic, that I could do the things that I wanted to do. I remember one of the best praises I got from it was my dad said, this is like the first of your movies, which feels like a real movie. That was pretty awesome. And even my brothers, who up until that point had been pretty critical of just about everything I'd done, they were impressed by it. And even before that, with every project I'd done since, I made serious gains with what I was able to do. And I went through some things. My parents had made me think, maybe it doesn't, and it was kind of making things that made me think, maybe it doesn't just end there. So making things push me forward. And there was some very nasty family drama through most of the 2000s and 2010s, which when I went through the trauma that I went through in 2017/18, I'm like, okay, all of that is behind us. Things kept happening and I kept making movies. That was my coping. That was my way to get past it. Ooh, that was ominous. Man, I gotta get the toilets fixed. Sorry, I'm in my restroom and every now and then the toilet kind of like just makes weird sounds. And I'm thinking I've got to get the pipes looked at. So that's why I acted startled. Lol. Anyway, the thing that just doesn't add up is, of all the things, there were so many perfect opportunities for me to say. There were so many traumatic events from like 2001 to 2018 where I'm like, man, this one's beat me into the ground. I don't feel like making movies anymore, but I kept making movies. And I just don't get why that was the one that made it where I'm like, I can't. First, I thought I just needed to give myself a break. And there might have been some truth to that. But again, at the same time, it's like, if I could go back in time, if I could go back to 2018, I would sit him down and say, what's the next movie? What are we doing? And I would make him put things together. I'd force him to. And if 2018 me gave present me any grief, I'd grab him by the collar and I would punch him into submission saying, you're going to do this. You can't afford to not do this. That is how harsh I probably should have been with myself back then. Because who knows what we could have done if we kept making movies like as consistently as we used to. Could have done something really awesome. But that leads us to the present where, for whatever reason, we finally feel like maybe we can do something. Maybe we can get the band back together, rally the troops. And maybe this time we have the lifetime experience to when we just feel down, say, get up. And maybe that's what I would say to any of y'all who are just like, you've got something you love and you've just been through a rough time. I mean, get up. Because you'll feel a lot better if you keep going on rather than just, kind of surrendering. I'm speaking from personal experience. Well, this has been a late night episode of the David Wells Experiment. Might be somewhat of a downer, but I hope you got some kind of edification. Have an absolutely super day, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.